Do you have systems in place to close more deals while keeping your database organized? I'm going to show you a kvCORE feature that allows you to keep your database organized and for conversion. So keep watching this video. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate marketer, real estate agent, and a global team leader with the eXp Realty brokerage. And if this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit the notification bell for more updates on content like this. And if you have any questions at all as I go out throughout this video, leave it in the comment section below. And make sure you watch this video to the very end, because I'm going to show you some information as to how you can get free access to my trainings and to partner with me, and also get access to my free kvCORE training for setup and lead generation. And once again, I'm going to make my camera a little bit smaller so you can see more of what I'm going to share with you. And in today's video, I'm going to show you more information as to what hashtags are, why they're so important, what they can be used for, and how they apply to when it comes to organizing and automating your business. And hashtags, to me, from a marketing strategy perspective, as you guys know, I worked in marketing for over 10 years. This is what I did. I'm a marketer that turned realtor. And my biggest advice to you, as if you can keep your database organized, if you know exactly who's in your database, you have more chance of converting them. So every single content, every single trigger, every kind of communication that goes out has to be tailored to that audience that's going to receive it. Imagine speaking English to someone who only understands French. Very similar. You want to send the right information to the people that are looking for that content. Simple as that. So if you can organize your database in a way that best fits you and the people that are in your database, that's going to allow you to grow your business quickly as well as scale your business. So let's talk a little bit about how this works through kvCORE, and a little bit about just hashtags in general. So this is a feature within Smart CRM, and with kvCORE, what I love about this tool is kind of think of it like it's their version of labeling, and it's within the Smart CRM, so you can organize and categorize the contact list in a way for quick filtering, for quick messages, communications, and to trigger and automate just conversations, drips, etc. I can keep going, but I'm going to show it to you so that you understand it. So let's quickly look at this. So for privacy of people in my database, I'm showing you just more information right here, just searched under my name. So to quickly go through this, so obviously if you are logged into kvCORE, this is a great time to kind of follow along, it'll give you a better understanding of this tutorial. So if you go to Smart CRM, it's going to give you a list of all of your contacts. And if you come here and click filter, this little pop-up will come, and it shows you, it gives you a number of different ways to filter your database, because it's that important, because you can organize your database in so many different ways. And let's talk about that. Couple of things for you. If you don't know what this is a really simple way your contacts are organized according to statuses. And if they're a sphere, you can mark them as sphere. So people in your network, people that you already know, that you're building a relationship with, people you met them at your kids' daycare, people you went to high school with, people you already are acquaintance with or have a previous relationship, and you want to nurture them by bringing them into your database. And there's so many different ways you could do that. Make sure you head to my YouTube channel to check out that content, or check out my kvCORE marketing course where I dive deep into how to get your sphere into your database so that you close more deals with them. Because one of the big issues with real estate agents is that we try to create all these processes to attract people who have no idea who we are, complete strangers, and lead generation from leads that have no idea who they are, when we couldn't tell, just open up that relationship that we already have with people that know, like, and trust us, instead of having to build that from completely ground zero. So one of my biggest advice is start with people you already know, especially if you have a good network of people in your area, because I know a lot of agents don't have that, especially if you're in a new market. But keep that in mind. And the other is prospect. So the way that Josh and I use prospect is we do cold calling, we go to events. So anyone who we meet there, we put them under prospect. And new leads, or any kind of Facebook ads or any automation that we have in place through our squeeze pages, landing pages, come directly as new leads. And then anytime they reply back to any of our drip campaign or any of our communications, the system automatically converts them into an active lead, which is great because it's triggering us to continue that conversation, so the machine doesn't have to. And then, of course, anyone who I've shown properties to, doing a listing presentation with, and having that conversation about real estate a little bit more, or who are about to get on contract, I put them as client. And then once they get on contract, I put them as contract, and then close that deal, you mark them as closed. And in the event that I usually don't archive anybody, because I really want to start, I talk about this in referrals. So check out those videos where I talk about continuing and building on relationships of past clients, because like they say, every single past client should give you 7 referrals in their lifetime. So I highly recommend that you take advantage of strategies to convert through referrals and really retention. So I don't often archive, but there are instances that I have. So just ensure how you want to keep your database organized. So these are some of the statuses that are available to keep your database organized. The other thing, the main important thing that I want to talk to you about today is hashtags. So hashtags are pretty much words that are allocated to keep your database organized, like I mentioned earlier. So it's just a way to organize your contact list. There's so many different ways you can do them. You can really break down your list into hot, warm, cold. And the beautiful part about these hashtags, you can have unlimited. Of course, you don't want to have, hundreds of them per person, but you can add multiple things on. I'll give you a great example. You can add on, I met them at this event, where they come from. You can add them. I've added hashtags as my lender because I have a couple of lenders. So I would ask hashtag who the lender that I passed it to, or who the lawyer that I've sent them to, because I have a particular lawyer that I use for investments versus who isn't more of a specialized in investment. So there really depends on who you want to send whom to, or even leads that I've actually worked on closely with some of my own agents. So there's so many different ways that you can really categorize this. I also use naming conventions, like you can see here. My husband and I, we started, if you've seen our YouTube videos, we started venturing into the US and started purchasing properties as Canadian nationals, as Canadian investors. So we started going to a lot of networking events to meet JV partners. So we started to hashtag these kind of things because we send them, deals on a weekly basis. So I highly recommend that you find, again, naming conventions that work for you, because these are going to be, hashtags that are going to trigger alerts, which I'm going to show you in a second. They work well with lots of tools that are existing within kvCORE that use this hashtag to start these communication. And you can also use hashtag in order to use a number of different features within kvCORE. So super important. And what's so unique about this is that you can also hashtag, you know really breaking down the statuses. For example, you can even say things like in escrow or need to sign something. So you can really break down the process of where these people are, if they come from Facebook ads, where they come from, who they're working with. And super important, or even if they're, someone you is like, there's a potential for referrals, or again, number of different ways. And as you can see here right at the top, we've, you know added some for you guys. When you look at Smart CRM, all you see is all contacts, but in our case, you can see that we pin 2 different hashtags or search filters right at the top, and you could do that as well. So if you search via hashtags, and then you could take this search function using this hashtags, or however, whatever search filters you've applied, and you could save the filter right at the top so that you can get to them quickly possible, especially people that you're nurturing, like hot, warm, etc. Or in our case, again, this is so important. I think keeping your database organized is about understanding your business. And that's why everything's based on strategy. I highly recommend that you understand your business and find a naming convention. Again, keep it simple as possible. And I know a lot of companies and brands that I worked for, we have lots of, intricate naming conventions for our CRM. So I highly recommend that you have, make it super simple that works for you. And of course, depending on who you're working with, like first time home buyers versus investors, you could break them out that way as well. Type of sellers versus buyers, and those are hashtags that we use as well. So as you can see here, you can see the hashtags appear right under people's names when you search them. They also appear, I'm going to open this up. So when you open up a lead profile in your smart CRM, I'm obviously using mine as an example to protect the privacy of people in my database. So you can see here hashtags are predominant. It's right up there, all the different ways. And of course, I've just used a random ones just to show you, but it shows that they come from one of our courses, sellers, seller guide. I put names of lenders. For example, I just added my name just to show you, but if they come from my website, if they're an investor. And it's because if I were to send an email to only sellers or trigger a drip campaign only to sellers, this can work perfectly. And this is going to allow and help me communicate with this lead as best as possible. So that's another reason why you want to ensure that they are correctly, properly allocated. The other couple of things that I want to talk to you about in terms of hashtags are, you can use them in number of different ways, in number of different features. So for example, search alerts. So some of your search alerts are used according to some of, you can send them according to, whatever hashtags that they're a part of. You could also come to marketing and send mass emails according to a hashtag. So if you come here and select schedule an email, you see you can actually send an email particular to a hashtag, just like Josh and I do for US investors, because we send deals to particular people in our database that are looking for that content and they signed up for that content. And or you can use the smart campaigns, which is the drips. You can either build your own or use a certain smart campaign that is triggered by a hashtag. For example, if you click here, you can see you can click if the hashtag is certain such and such hashtag, they will get this. Or if the hashtag is not this, they won't get, you can organize your campaigns to be triggered according to a hashtag, which is so great. And also the other thing that I wanted to also mention is that there's so many different ways why it's so important. Like I mentioned, is that this allows you to get better use of kvCORE and to use it to build your database. And also remember, there's tools within kvCORE, because this system, kvCORE platform, is not just your IDX website, is not just your CRM. It's a lead engine tool. It's allowing you to build your database. So if you have landing pages set up or IDX squeeze pages, remember, let's go quickly look at this. And if you need more information about how to build our landing pages, how it works, how to get eyes on them, what to write in them, check out my whole series on that on my YouTube channel. Right here, you can see right off the bat, this landing page that you're going to put together is organized from a hashtag. And every time I talk about this, I mention this is because this is one of the most important things. So again, if you don't know where they're coming from, who they are, then how are you going to ever communicate with them properly and sending the right information to them? Which is why, to better use the system and to better build a proper business that works for you, you need to understand how hashtags work. And that's why I wanted to come on here and share that information with you. I hope this was helpful for you. And again, one last thing, remember, you can also use the call and text feature, also triggered by campaign by hashtags, or them receiving information according to who they are through hashtags as well. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope you create a naming convention that works for you. And if you're working with a domestic partner like my husband and I are, or if you're part of a team, maybe you want to put together a naming convention that you are all on the same page about, so that you guys can work together. Especially if you have a team where you pass on agents, if you pass on clients too, it is super important that you are all on the same page about that. And now, if you got this far into the videos, thank you so much. And if you have any questions this far, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. And check out the description below, because I have some links in there as to how you can partner with me and change your business, because we have multiple mastermind calls, courses, everything we do, including Karubi Social, which is a social media content platform we created for our agents, which we give you social media done for you. Every single thing on social media is done, so you never have to complain about social media when you're in our group. You don't even have to take social media training, because the social media is clearly done for you, so you just copy and paste. And they're all led by strategy, because it's work that I've done through all these years working in marketing. And you also get access to my kvCORE lead generation and marketing course, setup course. So when you come into, whether you partner with us here at eXp, or whether you have kvCORE through your own brokerage, you can get access to that course and change your business and leverage kvCORE. And a lot of people talk about this. kvCORE is an amazing platform, but people have a hard time actually putting it to use, especially if you don't have a marketing background. And that's what I do in these courses, is to actually show you how to navigate kvCORE, but I also give you strategies so that you can actually leverage kvCORE to truly build your business. I hope this is helpful for you. I know I tend to talk fast, but thankfully this isn't a video, so you can stop, watch, and continue. And if you have any other questions at all, again, feel free to connect with me. Thanks again for watching. My name is Tharmila Rajasingam. I'm a real estate marketer, real estate agent, and a global team leader. I'll see you next time.